family? Welcome back to the Ebony Odyssey. My name is Jermaine Long, and I am a servant of the Most High God. I appreciate you for coming along, and as always, enjoy the journey. Today is a Real Talk episode. I want to get is close to, the nitty gritty day-to-day stuff that we go through, that I go through. And this is definitely personally on, a man's level, my psyche. What am I thinking? What am I going through? So the whole story of where we are today is, we have a business where we make matafali, which is bricks, concrete blocks. And we were doing very good. We're very successful in making these blocks and selling these blocks. So I'm very thankful that every time we came up against something, God would always continue to get us through, push us through, and we would continue to make our sales and, reinvest in the business. But you come to a certain point, me being an auditor, me being of an accounting and finance background, I understand, the limitations of certain things you do. So for me to really expand and continue going forward with what we have going on, I made some moves to kind of make us better, to get us better as a business, better as a company, because I'm here and I want to provide for the people that are helping me build. I know times are getting hard for you guys, and I know times are getting hard for my guys as well here. So if you keep staying stagnant or you keep putting yourself in this one situation, eventually, you will run up against problems that you can't solve. And when you can't become more viable, when you can't create more value, when you can't create more revenue, that's how businesses go under. That's how things fail. So during this time, I have already thought ahead as far as expansion is concerned. And that was the purpose for buying the crusher machine to, make the raw materials a little bit cheaper. And it also gives us an expansion to the business because we can sell the nice white stones that, you kind of use to decorate your garden and stuff like that. And the chip stones, which they use to make mosaics and things like that in the floor. So we have both that type of material and, of course, the dust that we need to use to make the bricks. Now, I'm telling you again this backstory because when you are here on the continent, it's a lot of things that go on. And if you are not prepared for them, they really sidetrack you. So case in point, for me to start this business, I had to buy the machinery. I had to buy the land. And so, with those type of purchases, that definitely makes the money that you have shrink. It definitely puts you on a tighter budget. But I know, they're with me and they understand. But the bigger picture is now that we have done this, once we are able to get on our feet, once we are able to get our feet back up under us, things will be a little bit easier and we can keep going forward and we can do the things that we need to do to keep making the business profitable. Because as the times are changing, it gets harder and harder to become profitable because you have to keep raising the price of this, raising the price of that, raising the price of this. And so, you can't keep selling for the same price. You can't keep doing the same things that you used to do. So you have to get better. And in the process of this expansion, man, it's a kick in the butt because, not only that I buy this machine, it wasn't safe enough in my estimation, so we bought tons of additional materials, to cover the machine, to reduce the amount of dust. I bought masks for ventilation. I bought eye protection, because before, none of this was being used. And, like I said, hey, we get it to a certain point where we see what we have, and then you have to kind of make those adjustments because you want it to be as safe as possible. I've been clearing all kinds of things. I've been welding the machine together to make it, safer all around, make it less, more environmentally friendly, I guess, for my neighbors as well as for my employees. And, these things have come at a cost. It's not a huge cost, but we've had so many issues with making these modifications and things breaking and, things just messing up all around the shop. And, this is those things that, hey, this is what happens in life. This is what happens in business. And, we can compare it to the devil just poking at you at certain times. And, I don't get stressed. I don't get frustrated with these things because I know, that's just what it is. God has me here for a purpose. And, sometimes we're going to hit these bumps in the road. And the thing I don't do enough is share those bump in the road moments. Because, people, it's enough drama in the world. So why should I give you something that's a problem for me because it's not a problem for you? But to tell you these things and give you an understanding of what these days are like, because some days they are frustrating. But at the end of the day, I know God has got me. I mean, he has gotten me through so much. So case in point, how we are right now, the issues that we had this coming week, man, we had to reroute some of the electricity that comes to our building. That was a cost. And in rerouting some of that, people don't care so much taking things out and putting them back as they do when they're putting things in for the first time. And so, we had issues with that. Our box got mangled. It looked like it had been chewed up by a tiger and spit out, and that cost us money, and it cost us the functionality of some of our equipment. It didn't function as well because some of the things that were messed up, is now failing. Now we have to kind of go through that process again because it wasn't done to the standard that it should have been. And, dang, that's a shot to me right there. At the end of the day, you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep going. Now, I've bought a forklift for my guys because, lifting bricks, I see them do it day in and day out, and it takes a toll. And, just me forward thinking a long time ago, put these bricks on the pallet, lift that pallet on the truck. It all works until your forklift breaks. So this is an additional cost, and during this time, my guys are getting wore down, with that whole process. The machine belts are breaking left and right. So we had to readjust, get it adjusted. Then as soon as we get it adjusted, the actual, the piece that does all of the crushing for the rocks, it broke. So it's been one thing after another. And what is it? The switch on my mixer went out the other day. And so it's like, one thing after another. Then the box that actually makes the bricks, the weld cracked. Come on. How many things that you go through where, the devil is just poking at you and he wants you to quit. He wants you to give up. And, this is the real talk of when you're starting a business and can you get over these hurdles? Are you going to let it affect you to the point where you can't function, where everything that you built comes crashing down? Because guess what? Shit happens. It's not French. It's just bad language, but it happens. And so what do we do at this point? Do we cower, or do we continue pressing forward with the goal that God had in mind for us? And, so I I don't like to dwell on those things because I know the next day that I wake up, God is going to give me enough breath to keep pushing forward and keep doing what I got to do. And I'm so thankful, because, today is one of those days where, tons of things, have been up and down for the week. And I know we are getting to this phase, where it's like, okay, now we got to kind of get ramped back up to kind of do some more stuff. And guess what? Another kick in the gut comes. And so the belt on the truck broke. That's the kick in the gut. So it's like, but what do? We replace it like we replaced everything else. And I just keep moving forward with life, and whatever God's going to do next is going to be great. And I'll tell you about his greatness, because guess what? I'm coming home, and man, I don't feel defeated, but I definitely feel deflated. I feel deflated because it's like, man, I got so many things going on. So anyway, yeah, with that kind of stuff that happens, man, now it's like another day, and I'm coming home, and this is the favor of God. This is the favor of the Most High. When, I'm feeling, deflated, like I said, not defeated, but just deflated, a little tired, a little weary, because guess what? Now, the things that I need is getting far from my reach, because I want to finish my house and get things going like that. But as you know, wood is up in America, so wood is up here. And all of a sudden, a gentleman that I helped a little while back, he had an issue, and, money solves a lot of issues when you have them, when you have it anyway. And so I helped him with that issue, and, he saw it's like, he's a little deflated today. What's going on? Why is his countenance down? What, let me pry and see what's going on with Mr. Mango. And so it was a blessing, because what he did is he reassured me that God had me. Not by just saying, blessings upon you. He reassured me because I told him my issue. I told him, hey, I need to get all of this wood. And now they're telling me the price is here. So I'm trying to expand, and because I'm expanding, that is a window that I've missed to purchase things at a certain price. And he told me, look, my uncle, we just finished doing, such and such over here. And let me go get with my mother as well, because she has pull and she can help us get the rest of what you need. Tell your fundi tomorrow. Let's get together and sit and talk and name out all the wood that you need, because I can possibly get you this wood for, half of the half price that you were talking about. And if we can't get it, me and you will personally go to Dar es Salaam, because I'm making furniture and I have a place that I can go and we can get this wood cheaper. And man, my heart is just like so thankful, because it takes a lot to get here, and it takes a lot to do what you're doing. And I'm not going to waver on what God told me to do, because look at this right here. When I'm deflated, God has sent a messenger to say, you needed this. So here it is. I'm waiting on God to tell me. I'm waiting on God to reassure me. And guess what? No matter the 90 things that came up this week that has drained me mentally and physically to a certain degree, my countenance, I'm like on the floor, because in the presence of God, all of those things that you desired and you wanted can be fulfilled. And these are needless things that I shouldn't worry about, because I know if he can care for the lilies of the valley, and the birds in the air, he can care for me. And, this is just a point where, I come home and I talk to my wife and I tell her, and she's floored too, because like, man, we got so much we got to get done. And now, what we're doing is going to take us even longer. So family, I'm just saying, things don't have to be easy, but God will get you through it. Are you willing to take that opportunity and that chance to strike out and go and do what you need to do? And today, this is just that reassurance for me that, yes, the devil has put me down on the ground, and he's been kicking me and kicking me and kicking me and kicking me, but I didn't waver from what he had told me to do. And so since I'm on this course now, God has extended that grace and that blessing over me and lifted me up and reassured me that what will come to pass that he had put on my heart will come to pass. And family, I ain't going to take you any longer. I appreciate you for listening and coming along. And as always, enjoy the journey.